Welcome to The Explainer. We are jumping straight into an absolutely cinematic journey today. We're going to descend from the snowy, high-altitude landscapes of northern Yunnan, China, and make our way all the way down into the vibrant, tropical Deep South. It's this dramatic, step-by-step transformation, geographically, culturally, you name it. And we're going to unpack exactly how this incredible region changes as you move through it. So, just picture this for a second. What actually happens when you leave all that snow and stone behind and literally plunge into China's only tropical rainforest? As you travel south, you hit this profound sensory shift. Suddenly, the air gets noticeably warmer. The mountains, which were once kind of rocky and barren, just explode into this overwhelming green. You swap out highland pastures for endless terraced fields, and the whole cultural vibe suddenly feels distinctly Southeast Asian. It's a complete shift in the world around you. You're going from the freezing, stony peaks of the north right into the lush, tropical warmth of the south. But before we get totally lost in the deep terraced mountains, our sources point out a perfect place to pause along the way, the ancient town of Jianshui. It's this beautiful, historical gateway where you can stroll through the old town, check out the iconic Chaoyang Gate, and even visit a traditional Confucian temple. It totally sets the stage for what comes next. Okay, moving further south, we hit Yuanyang. And wow, this is where we see an unbelievable story of human achievement unfold. This is home to the Hani rice terraces. Think about this. Over 1,300 years ago, way back in the 700s AD, the Hani people started carving these terraces directly into the mountain slopes. Through generations of continuous, honestly backbreaking maintenance, these sculpted an agricultural masterpiece. It's so significant that it was officially designated a World Cultural Heritage Site in 2013. And the sheer visual poetry of this place, it's just staggering. If you manage to drag yourself out of bed early and head up to the Duiyishu viewpoint, you get to watch the morning sun hit the water-filled terraces. Just like the quote says, as the mist parts, the terraces shine like thousands of mirrors reflecting the sky. It is this breathtaking, fairy tale moment that honestly makes you completely forget about the modern world. But, right behind that breathtaking beauty is a pretty harsh physical reality. 1,500 meters, that's the dramatic elevation drop from those upper viewpoints sitting around 1,700 meters high, all the way down to the valley floors at just 200 meters. The local Hani people have to navigate these incredibly steep, muddy paths every single day. Our sources actually note that it's super common to see locals, very often women, carrying supplies weighing up to 50 kilograms or 100 jin on their backs up and down these massive slopes. It is a staggering testament to their endurance. From those carefully sculpted mountains in Yuanyang, this explainer is taking us even deeper south. We're crossing the threshold into Xishuangbanna. And right here, the landscape just dramatically transforms again. We are plunging straight into a dense, humid, completely untamed tropical rainforest located just below the Tropic of Cancer. This is exactly why it's known as the fabled plant kingdom of China. And right smack in the heart of this jungle is Wild Elephant Valley. Now, what's really crucial to understand here is that you've got two entirely different realities existing in the same park. On one hand, you have captive trained elephants, where tourists can feed them apples and bananas or watch performances. But on the other hand, if you look deeper into that lush rainforest, there are wild Asian elephant herds roaming completely freely through their natural migration corridors. Living right alongside massive, free-roaming creatures like that, it created a very complex dynamic for the local population. The overlap between humans and wildlife here is no joke. Wild elephants will frequently just wander out onto local roads, and occasionally, whole herds will venture right into villages. Based on data from the local Department of Emergency Management highlighted in our sources, there were actually 4 recorded human deaths resulting from elephant encounters in just the second quarter of 2025 alone. It's a very stark, very real reminder of the raw power of untamed nature. And by the way, elephants are definitely not the only untamed element out there. Our sources shared this pretty harrowing first-hand account of an explorer venturing into the rainforest park after dark. They literally noted that the darkness is very strong. Right before accidentally stumbling into a territorial clan of wild monkeys in the pitch black, the monkeys actually began aggressively charging at them. It just goes to show that once the sun sets, the jungle instantly reverts to this wild, unpredictable, and highly dangerous environment. Pro tip for you, when the locals say the darkness is strong, maybe just stay inside. Okay, let's step away from not tension and move into a sense of pure wonder. Because to truly appreciate this rainforest, you literally have to get off the ground. Over at the Wangtenshu Scenic Area, you can ascend 36 meters, that is roughly 10 stories high, right up into the tree line. Once you're up there, you traverse this 500-meter-long canopy walkway suspended between giant sky trees, or Paraschoria chinensis. Looking down from that high up, you get a bird's-eye view of unbelievable rainforest phenomena, like these massive strangler figs and giant buttress roots. It gives you a fully three-dimensional experience of the jungle. Slicing right through all of this dense landscape is an absolute titan of a river. 4,880 kilometers. That's the total length of the mighty Landskong River. And what's super fascinating is that after this wide, clear river flows out of Xishuangbanna, it takes on a name you're probably much more familiar with, the Mekong River. It acts as a golden, vital waterway that connects 6 different nations: China, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Following that incredible river brings us right into Jinghong City, the beating heart of Xishuangbanna. This is where we transition out of the untamed wilderness and step into a rich, deeply rooted civilization. We're now in the home of the vibrant Dai culture. The streets here are absolutely packed with unique architecture, beautiful stilted houses, and the constant lingering scent of tropical spices in the air. Right in the center of the city sits Manting Park. Now, notice a pretty wild parallel here. Just like those Hani Terraces we talked about earlier, this park traces its roots back 1,300 years to the 700s AD. It was originally established as the royal garden for the Dai kings, and local legend has it that a Dai king's beloved concubine was so enchanted by its beauty that her soul was literally captured by the landscape. That's how it earned the ancient name Chunhuan, or the Garden of the Soul. Today, it's this bustling, vibrant center for Dai cultural heritage. As you dive into this culture, you'll start seeing 2 very specific symbols absolutely everywhere. In local Dai mythology, the peacock is a highly revered mascot representing women in beauty. You can actually go to the nearby primitive forest park and watch hundreds of them taking flight, which is just wild to see. On the flip side, the elephant represents men, bravery, and strength. In fact, historically, every new Dai king would personally select a fierce, brave elephant to ride into battle. That deep cultural reverence extends straight into their spiritual life, too. At the Mengol Cultural Tourism Zone, which happens to be built right on the site of a former royal temple, devotion is literally measured in physical effort. To reach the top of Nalian Mountain, visitors have to climb an incredible 3,000 steps. You're ascending a massive 120-meter vertical drop. It is a completely awe-inspiring demonstration of faith and, honestly, of scale. And speaking of scale, you absolutely cannot miss the Jinghong Great Golden Pagoda. Standing exactly 66.6 meters tall, this dazzling structure just dominates the city's skyline. It's covered in golden spires, white elephants, and soaring peacocks. The design is heavily influenced by Theravada Buddhism, and it beautifully blends those traditional Dai architectural styles with a broader Southeast Asian aesthetic. Okay, we definitely cannot talk about Xishuangbanna without talking about the food. When the sun goes down, the Starlight Night Market absolutely comes alive. The culinary scene here is just a sensory explosion of sour and spicy flavors. You've got whole fish stuffed with local spices and grilled over charcoal with fresh lemongrass. You'll find hollowed-out pineapples filled with sweet, steamed purple rice. And of course, the wildly popular sour and spicy chicken feet, pounded right in front of you in a mortar. It's a culinary experience you are for sure not going to forget. But, it's not just the Dai people who make this region so special. Xishuangbanna is a true cultural melting pot. It's actually home to 13 resident ethnic minorities, including the Dai, Hani, Jino, Blang, and Yao. They all converge right here, sharing their traditions, their music, and their festivals. The biggest standout is the joyous water splashing festival held every April to ring in the Dai New Year. It is an amazing celebration of life. So, as we wrap up this explainer, we're really left to ponder the future of this incredible region. Southern Yunnan is such a delicate, fascinating tapestry. On one hand, you have 1,300-year-old human achievements like the Hani Terraces and Manting Park, and sitting right next to them is an untamed rainforest where wild elephants still roam. As modernization inevitably pushes forward, the ultimate question is, how will Southern Yunnan balance all this growth while preserving its historical Garden of the Soul for the next millennium? It's definitely a thought that leaves you wanting to pack your bags and go explore it for yourself. Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer, and I'll catch you next time.